Hello.
Hello. What's up, YouTube?
Oh no, that's too loud. All right, hello folks. We're going to look at a new beer. It was introduced about 2 months ago, and it's called Milwaukee's Best Lager. Well, the old story is that back years ago, in a brewery far, far away, they brought out a beer called Milwaukee's Best, and it was pretty successful. That was in 1984. I don't remember the ABV back then. It was something like 4 point. I have my notes. I can go look, but it wasn't too low. And then they dropped it at some point, y'all know, down to 4.3, which I didn't really care for, although it tasted fine. And then I guess Miller got the message some kind of way, meaning SAB Miller. And then they upped it to 4.8 and introduced it in October. So this is, and they changed the name from Milwaukee's Best Premium to Milwaukee's Best Lager. Now, who has not had this before? Bill's not had it. Everyone else has had it.
I didn't have it for the first time until last night, and I did my own separate review of it.
Yes, I watched that. Now, Gary, I'm going to mute because there's too much background. I can hear the whole TV show.
Yeah, babe.
I don't want to watch it. Hey, so there's the 6.9% ice version, which to me they did it too high, but we'll look at that upcoming. I think they jumped it up too high. So, and then they kept the oh, there's Jean-Pierre joining. They kept the light beer at the same level. That was an appropriate level, don't y'all think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
4.1. Gary said, I think she fixed it. Well, let's hope so. Hey, so we have Gary and William from the Carolinas, and then down south, we got myself for Louisiana Beer Reviews, Jean-Pierre with Beer and TV Ramble, Jeff Brister with Jeff Brister, formerly Brister, the Brister, and we have down also in the Florida Panhandle, if I learn how to speak, Bill. Out west, we have the Brew Dude, but he's not here yet. I'm going to re-invite him. I know he should be. I think she fixed it well. Unmute to see if she did. Okay, let's hope. And then up north, we got Eric and John Sharon, our long lost friend, who's been very busy. And
Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing?
Hopefully, I got some kids running around. I'm at my mother-in-law's house. I do a contingency plans. If I was running late, I brought my laptop here to her place, and I put 4 beers in the freezer. Hopefully, they don't break. But I brought a stash here with me just in case tonight. So I got the kids running around. You know, it's holidays. They're out of school, so you know what's going on.
Tell them go to the mall.
Yeah. Well, I don't know right now after what I saw the past couple of days, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to send another invite to the brew.
Can you all hear anything? Did it fix it?
I think so. My beer glass.
Seemed like I heard a little background noise. We'll see. The Brew Dude. Okay. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Anyway, let's drink beer. When I got home from work today, I drank one of these. It's $17 even plus tax for the 30. It says oops, try again.
$13.28 for a 24-pack in Mobile.
17 even plus tax for the 30-pack right here.
$1.09 for 24.
Special in my area, $6.49 on a 12-pack.
Doesn't sound bad.
I looked for 24-ounce everywhere and couldn't find it. I ended up after, I think it was $16.99 for a 30-pack, which I don't care. I mean, I'll drink them. That's no big deal. So
identical
You look at
price.
Myers, John?
yeah, Myers, yeah.
That's where I got mine. That's why I said so.
Yeah. See, Myers here, they quit selling singles. They sold singles for a long time, and then all of a sudden, they quit selling singles again. So.
Myers is a popular supermarket in the mostly in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought so.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right,
all we
so-
get is 24 packs here. So
Yeah, we
Alabama and their damn religious laws. So never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry, Jay.
Came on here to bash Alabama. Hey, I saw a 24 pack. I mean, I saw a 24-ounce single can of the Light in Reserve, Louisiana, and of course, around here we get the. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a quart. We only get the single quarts. I saw the Light quart, and then at most of the stores they have the ice in the quart cans. So the quart cans of the ice beer are very popular. In fact, that's the only configuration we get.
I got a 12-pack for $5.88 at Walmart.
Boy, oh boy.
The only beers cheaper than that I saw were the Busch Ice, $5.67 for a 12-pack, and Rockdale Light were the only two beers that were cheaper than this particular Milwaukee's Best Lager. So they're pricing it very competitively.
I almost bought some of that Rockdale Light, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I said, no, I'm buying Milwaukee's Best, so I bought a 30-pack.
Bill, is that your name, Bill?
You're muted, Gene.
Oh, all right, my bad.
Yeah, we'll go up north first. Let's let the Northerners look at this beer first. Let's not waste a lot of time talking about the appearance. We all know what it's going to look like. It's going to be straw with a head. It's going to have that Miller lacing. You know how Miller has that heavy lacing, the bubbles. You know, we all know what these things look like. I'm trying to get it set up to where people can do the comments. I'm having a little trouble with that. For some reason, the internet decided to be slow today. John, Sharon, and Eric, y'all can talk about this beer for a
Go
little
ahead,
bit.
John.
Go ahead, Bob.
All right. I got my A&W glass out here, guys. It's I think it holds about 22 ounces worth of pop, beer, water, whatever. I had 4 fingers ahead on that pour, guys. It looks like your typical American adjunct lager. It's going to have that golden color, golden pale color. I got some bubble streams coming up. When I put it up to my nose, I'm getting some mineral water. It smells like your typical American adjunct lagers, like your keg beer, things like that. I can't tell. Is it made with corn or rice? Does anyone know?
Yeah, it's water, barley malt, corn syrup or dextrose syrup.
It's maltose.
Yeah,
Oh,
Maltose
maltose.
corn syrup.
and then hop extract and malt
And
extract.
that's more or less all I'm getting is kind of that mineral water and the keg beer smell. There's not much more going on than that.
No.
That's pretty much all I got. Go ahead, John.
I kind of get that typical when you buy these Miller type budget type beers. They've always kind of got that funky smell to them that I don't know what it is, but I mean it's got that. I'm going to say almost that green bottle, but not as bad as the green bottle funk to it. But I think that this beer kind of has that tone a little bit to it. Maybe not as bad as a lot of them, but it's got that funk smell to me that it just won't go away.
I'm not getting that. Okay. Now down south, Jeff Bristow, you hadn't been with us in a while, so we'll let you start talking. I don't know why this is taking so long to for this page to set up. This is like
I got the chat up, Ron.
it's incredibly slow. It's like amazingly slow. Okay. Anyway, usually it's
I poured out of a 12-ounce can. I got about all the way to the top with the head, but it's gone away, but it's stuck around with the lacing. It does have that distinct like Miller smell to it. I don't know if it smells funky, but it does kind of smell almost kind of like a metallic kind of smell, for lack of a better word. This definitely has like a Miller. It's a Miller product just from the smell that way.
Right.
It's got like that Miller High Life type, what you call it? It's like a sweet, it's like sweet, like the middle part of the bread. Obviously coming from the grain. You could probably make somebody think it was High Life, perhaps. All right, any other comments from the South? And we don't have any Westerners, so we can't go out west.
I like the new can design.
Yeah, me too. I think they did a good job. Now, y'all remember I knew about this 6 months before it came out. I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, you kept teasing us about it. Yeah.
I couldn't say which brand, but I said something's coming, and you're going to be maybe shocked. But I had to make a promise that I couldn't tell them. I couldn't tell anybody what, because I saw these label designs back around June. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of background. June or May or June of 2016.
Is it coming from? I'm sorry, Jay. Is it coming from me? I'm lowering my volume on my.
Yeah, it's a lot of background, hectic noise.
Yeah, I had to close the door. Kids are still yelling. I wish this place was a soundproof house, but
turn your volume back up when you go to talk, because I was going to mute you, but this thing's going really slow. Let's look at some of the comments.
Go ahead.
All right, so Dave said, "Oh, you got to promise not to tell anybody," and I said, "Of course." I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll get that anymore though, because after they got bought out, it's probably not going to happen anymore. Now, see, Matthew Everett says, "Hey, y'all, how are you, Ronald? I'm fine." Lawrence said, "Hello." Lawrence Hartnett says, "Hello there." Eric Lions fan said, "What up, Matt?" Lawrence said, "Drink us some stone, arrogant bastard." Okay,
are we still live?
We're alive. Ronnie S says, "Cheers from Long Island, New York." Cheers back to you. What's up? YouTube says, "Had a 6-pack of Budweiser bottle, swallowed my first of Miller Genuine Draft 6-pack. Okay. Hi, Ronnie says, Eric Lions fan. Wrote, oh Lord. All right. Ronnie says, "Happy New Year." Friar Tuck says, "Hey, fellas, I miss your videos, Friar Tuck."
Friar Tuck.
Remember Friar Tuck's videos?
Yeah, I kind of when Joe did stuff with him. He comments on mine every once in a while.
Jake says, "Hi, Jay." Eric Alliance fan said, "What up, fellas?" Bob McNeely says, "It's a solid lager." I agree with that. Friar Tuck said, "I've only seen 12 packs and 24-ounce cans in my area." Uh-oh. $8 a 12-pack. That's a little high. No, I guess that's all right. $2 a 24-ounce. Eric says, "Fair, I got mine for $109. Jake says, "Milwaukee's best lager," and he makes a smiley face. All right, we'll get back to comments a little bit. Well, let's taste this fabulous item. Bill, down there in Florida, what do you think about it? You testing it out? Oh, Bill. Oh no. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to get off and get back on. What's the little characters on? No, you're gonna have to get. You're gonna have to get off and get back on. Gotta get off, get back on. All right. I think a Tandy 2000 is a good computer, but it's just not up to our. Hey, so,
Who was that, Jay, we used to deal with all the time? Used to have so many computer problems. Remember that?
that was, he got so frustrated he stopped coming, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a nightmare, you know. Hey, I think it just tastes like, a standard beer. It has a nice little hop bite at the end. Like, no, it's not a hoppy beer. You know what I mean? Like that little Miller 12% little thing going on.
Miller
Got
hops.
the light to medium. Yeah, those Miller. light to medium body, crisp finish. I mean, it's fine to me, you know.
It has that Miller bite to it.
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting at a lot with that funk smell and taste. It's definitely got that Miller High Life bite.
Yeah, I would agree with that, John. I'm getting a little bit of metallic taste too.
Yeah.
On mine.
A little bit of dryness too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go wrong with the beer. And to me, I mean, they've billboarded this up along interstates like crazy. I mean,
I heard about that. I've not seen any of those billboards.
oh God, they're everywhere down here in my area. They have advertised the heck out of it. You know, I mean, this is one, I guess, what we call a budget beer that I've actually really seen advertised a whole lot.
This beer was in serious need of some resuscitation. Since 2009, the sales were down over 55%. So they desperately need to do something about this beer. The only thing lower in the last 5 years as far as the decline in sales was Bud Select. So you're talking about the dregs at the bottom of the barrel. And I think they did a good job with what they've done with this.
I didn't really think there was anything wrong with it before. Oh, go ahead, William. Sorry.
The 4.8% is slightly more than the 4.6 of Miller Genuine Draft or Miller High Life. And you can see this beer is from that family tree. The sweetness, initial sweetness of taste. Some people say the little funky aroma, which some people say maybe mixed vegetables or something. But overall, I think they did a really good job with this. And I think the target was the Bush, which is a top 10 beer at 4.3%. So now they're 4.8. So I think they can maybe cut into some of the Bush sales, maybe.
I think you're right. And you know, back in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a lot of heavy advertising for Milwaukee's Best Light, especially, you know, Light. So it was doing well. And then, you know, Miller, and I talked to a Miller area salesman all the time, and he said they're so bad at doing that. They will take a brand and then they'll just abandon it for no reason, no, you know, inexplicable reasons, and they'll just let it coast, and it just slowly dies, and then they might revitalize it like they're doing now. I don't know if that's some kind of business model where there's a whole bunch of profit in just letting it coast like that and not spending any money on advertising. It could be some business model, perhaps.
But you think about this, Jay, when you walk in to, say, a Walmart or a Myers, one of them stores like that, or like you guys have your Roush's down there. I mean, you walk in, you see this plain beer can that says Milwaukee's Best Premium. And you might walk by that, but now you're seeing something that's almost a revitalized can. Now it's got the lager underneath of it. You know, I'm going to buy the Milwaukee's Best Lager probably before I am a premium, because I look at a premium, that's the low-grade beer, but you know, when you pick up a lager, what's the first thing you think of a lager? You think of Budweiser. You think of all these other beers like that. The price has just skyrocketed over the last couple months.
So you think they ruined the name premium by putting it on all these cheap beers, and everybody knows it's not premium.
Yeah.
Now, Jonathan Walker said this is a great cheap beer. I agree with that. And Ronnie S says, what do you rate the beer? I would say, you know, it's like an A-. Jonathan Walker says sells for $6.99 a 12-pack here in Richmond. That's a good deal. We're getting to that. Eric says, what is everyone's recommended food pairing? Lawrence asks. Oh, well, of course, French fries and hamburgers.
Yeah, it went well with the burgers I just had. Very well.
Chicken nuggets.
Pizza.
Nachos.
Yep, pizza nachos too.
Beef Wellington. No, I don't know. Not anything too complex, I'm sure. Did you guys do the new ice version yet? Now that's a keeper. Fried Tuck says. I did an independent video, Fry, or solo video, but we haven't done a group video, but that's coming up. Jonathan Walker says William does his homework. Amen. That's for sure.
Hey, do you think these would pair well with raw oysters from Felix's?
Yes.
No.
Yes. With a lot of cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
We ought to go to Felix's again. You think you'll ever go over there again?
Yeah, we're planning another trip now.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
You better call that grocery store on Royal Street and tell them get some more Mickeys.
Yeah.
We always drink Mickeys in New Orleans, folks. Lawrence says anything would go well with it. Oh, he's telling Lawrence anything would. Yeah, it would go well with burgers. Ron almost said MGD. You're the man. Yeah. I like Miller Genuine Draft. Friar Tuck says that is in the future examine. Yep, it is. Bacon and beer. Yeah, well, I don't know.
How about a McRib?
Oh, yeah, that's a good
McRib.
Yeah, that's a good point. McRibs. I haven't had a McRib since around 2012. Thick cut bacon and beer rules. Okay, I can go along with it. Daryl E says picked up some of this the other day. No bad. What does that mean? No bad. Oh, not bad. He must mean.
McRib and a Steel Reserve. That's a good pairing right there.
The 6% Steel Reserve. You mean? Ryan Thurber says Bush is just too low ABV. Amen. It used to be nice when it was 4.6, huh? This is a good step up in flavor and ABV. Bush Signature would have done so much better at a bit lower price point and an ounce of advertising. Yeah, 1 ounce. It got not even a milliliter of advertising. So,
I don't really understand that because to me that was just tremendous beer that gets absolutely no credit whatsoever from anybody.
I think William and Ron said it best. I can't remember what you guys said in your little online video chat, but the American Adjunct lager drinkers don't like it, and the craft beer drinkers don't like it. So there's two. I think that I'm kind of generalizing what you guys said, obviously.
Yeah. You're talking about Signature. Yeah, it was It's like William said, it was caught in like a little no man's land.
Yep. Exactly.
The negative zone. Bill, I remember who it was now that used to have all those problems. That was Brian Schalk. You remember that?
Yeah.
He got so discouraged he quit. But he still talks to us all the time on Facebook. Hey, but he loves history. He's always traveling around going to historical monuments. Now, Bill, if you can hear me, if you like this beer, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike the beer, give me a thumbs down.
I think he's saying somewhere in the middle.
So what's your final score? You've given me 3 signals.
Yeah, I think he's sticking with the thumbs down.
You don't like this beer?
Really?
Up there, Hey, well, if you don't like it, and he had to travel like to 7 different stores to find it. I feel sorry for Bill. He traveled to 7 different stores to find a beer he doesn't like. Oh man.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Just dealing with some computer issues with my damn laptop. I think I might need to invest in an e-machine or whatever, or maybe another bigger laptop this come January, when things will be a little cheaper than. Yeah.
I think
I'm sorry, guys.
over me.
Yeah, we did. We need to get back to him.
I said Southern people talking. I didn't hear no talk. Okay, go ahead, talk.
Oh, okay. For me, it just smells like an American Adjunct lager. Very sweet, has like a sweet, corny smell and a sweet, corny taste with a little bit of yeasty breadiness in the middle with a nice hot bitterness to finish up the taste and round it out. It's crisp and it's clean, but it's not really all that refreshing. So, but it has that characteristic Miller bite to it. Overall, I mean, I'll give it a thumbs up. I gave it an A for my independent rating. So,
yeah, I was watching it. I like Gary's videos. He's really he goes into a lot of detail, and I was thinking this morning. I said Gary sounds like he has a radio voice. Could be on radio, Gary.
I've thought about it, but I may or may not. I don't know.
He does have that radio voice, doesn't he?
I'm Gary Owens. Suck it to me.
And I think it's yellow corn grits, not the dextrose syrup. I know when you drink like Coors products like Keystone or Coors Light, it has like a sweet syrupy taste to it, but this just tastes like sweet corn, which indicates probably yellow corn grits. It probably doesn't taste all that similar or all that different, but that's just one thing I've noticed with Coors versus Miller.
Well, it's the same company now. And secondly, if if you look on the Miller Coors website, they've got the exact ingredients listed.
The website says this beer uses corn syrup, the maltose. It doesn't mention corn grits. So I just base my statement on what they say, the company.
Years ago, Miller used yellow corn grits. But after they were bought out, all of a sudden, everything was corn syrup.
Genesee still uses grits, corn grits.
Oh, yeah?
They list on the website that they use grits.
Which is a solid as opposed to a liquid. I think the grits are a little better, but maybe they're not. I mean, I'm talking without any kind of sitting down and trying the beers out. These people at Miller probably sat down and did some complex calculations and figured that if they substituted the syrup for the grits, there was no noticeable flavor differences. So I can't really honestly say that I've noticed any differences.
I noticed you can get a bag of, it's called Brewer's Crystals, which is a maltose corn syrup, but it's actually crystals. So although it says syrup, it's crystals. So there's a lot of ways you can go with these beers as far as the brewing. I guess the bottom line only, what does it taste like, you know?
Correct.
Exactly.
I remember years ago, I was watching a video interview or reading an interview with Carlos Brito. He's the CEO of Anheuser-Busch InBev. And he said that he found that Anheuser-Busch, when they were under the family ownership, they used to do all kind of like wasteful practices. They had so many wasteful business practices. Like, for instance, they always would insist that they would have to have whole grain rice, verdant whole grain rice. And it had to be polished rice. Okay, so he says, okay, he's talking to these scientists in Anheuser-Busch. He says, well, somebody told me it's cheaper to get rice that's cracked, you know, like it's broken. They said, oh, we don't buy that. He said, is there a taste difference with cracked rice as opposed to the whole kernel? They said, no, it doesn't taste any different. So Carlos Brito says, why are we insisting on buying an entire whole kernel when we could be buying the cracked rice for like half the price? The scientist said, oh, that's just the way they always did it. He said, not anymore. So
is that the way they make Budweiser, Jay? With some of that rice?
They use verdant rice, which you can look that up. And it's polished. But he said there was no purpose in buying the whole grain. They can use the cracked rice, like it's cracked. It's like the grain is broken.
Yeah.
For way cheaper. And it had no impact whatsoever on the flavor. So Carlos Brito, that's what he did when he took over the company. He just started slashing all these like wasteful things that
wasteful spending stuff, right?
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch family, the Busch family was doing like these crazy things, and it was bringing the company down. They were starting to collapse. They were turning into another Schlitz. And so really people say, oh, Carlos Brito, he's bad. He's bad because he saved the company from collapse. Like, another thing they did, like every middle manager, every executive for that company drove this expensive company car. He said, why are these people driving company cars? I don't even drive a company car. I drive my own car to work, and I'm the CEO. So like around 2009, he said, that's it. Everybody's driving their own car. You want to work for us? Go buy.
This is right around the time of the InBev merger, right? So.
Well, he's the one that took over after the 2008 buyout.
Right.
I don't want to get into that too deep, but it's interesting, you know. He was saying, why are we buying all these people company cars? Hell, let them buy their own car. If they don't like it, they can quit. And then he was saying they would give away so much beer to their employees. Like every single employee at Anheuser-Busch would get like a case of beer every week. You knew what they were doing? No, it was 2 cases of beer a week, I think. You know what they were doing? They were not drinking the beer. They were going and they were reshopping it. You know what I mean? They were reselling it on the black market. He said, screw that.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who still do that, you know.
Right.
You know, the specialty stores, you know, like, you know, this beer is kind out of date. You know, this beer is in January 2016, and you're still selling it in December 2016. What's going on?
Oh, no. They were getting fresh beer, and they were turning around, and they were reselling it. And now they get 2 cases a month. That's all they get, 2 cases of beer a month. He said, go buy your own beer. And you know, half those employees that are getting the 2 cases a month are selling it for what? But I mean, you know, he cut out all these wasteful practices. Anyway, back to Miller. And then I'll shut up. I like this beer. I don't love it. I don't adore it. But hey, you know what? For $17 a 30-pack, you're gonna see a lot of it in my fridge. A lot.
$15.49 for 30-pack.
Gee whiz. Now I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna shut up.
$16 at the Walmart close to me. Not a bad deal.
For a 30-pack?
Yeah, for a 30-pack.
Yeah, again, no 30-pack in Alabama. You know, good old Montgomery. Again, another topic for another day.
Always put down Alabama. All he does is put down Alabama. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, John.
I need to move to Louisiana. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you get this over? I know you're a big Miller Lite drinker, and kind of so am I. Would you take this over Miller Lite?
No.
Well,
I wouldn't.
I don't know, man. It's pretty. To me, it's pretty.
Personally,
close.
for me, I would pick this over Miller Lite. But if I was going to a party, I will get Miller Lite over Milwaukee's Best.
To me, it's pretty close, guys. It's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Miller Lite is
John's
what,
like,
4.2?
No, it's not.
I think it's universes apart.
Then what? Miller Lite?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all don't want to mess with John Sharon. He's a Miller Lite devotee. He loves Miller
Now,
Lite.
Miller Lite's like what, 4.1, 4.2%?
Something like that, yeah.
But this
Okay, and
I personally think there's no comparison to this to Miller Lite.
But wait, John Sharon, what is your opinion about this beer?
Oh, my opinion about this beer, I think it's a Miller Road beer. I mean, I wouldn't give it an A. I don't. If I was, I'd probably give it like a B, solid B.
I mean, would you drink it?
Yeah, I've got 28 more to drink, so yeah.
Oh my.
But yeah, I mean, it's a solid beer. I mean, I'm not going to give it an A. I don't think it deserves an A, in my opinion. I'll give it a solid B, just because I think it's between a Miller High Life and a Miller High Life Light. That's what I feel it is.
No, wait a minute. Remember, I gave it an A-.
I'm not giving it that high score, but I'm sorry. But
I'm gonna have to.
I'll
have to make some Facebook adjustments.
I think it's Miller Road, Miller High Life Light. Yeah, I mean, I give it a solid B.
You know, I'm giving it an A- in the category. You know.
Yeah.
The adjunct lager. I mean, it's obviously not. Okay, I'm gonna read these few comments, and I promise I'm gonna be quiet. The only way I can do raw oysters is with plenty of hot sauce, says Friar Tuck. You know, I like broiled oyster. Beer is good, Jake says. Beer is good. Yep, that's why we're doing this. What's up, YouTube said I had chicken nuggets. Yeah, interpret the statement for me. I had chicken nuggets than T-bone steak. Okay.
He had chicken nuggets and a T-bone steak.
In my area, Bush Signature was sold at a cheaper price than regular Bush. That seems incredible. The mod Strabator. Okay, I don't need all this anti-Jeff Brister stuff. So guess what? The mod Strabator, you're gonna get deleted.
Who's doing anti-Jeff Brister stuff?
The mob Strabator. You know the mob Strabator? He's big into mob strabation.
He trolls me a lot. Yeah,
I'll just delete. He's a big mob. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? That's too bad. Daryl E says, I love craft beer, but beer snobs don't tread on me. You know what? We don't want beer snobs to tread on any of us.
Yeah, we're not big beer snobs here.
Gary
wouldn't even drink this beer.
Gary Kunkel, let me remove this other. Hey, I'm not against the mob Strabator, because when I was in 9th grade, I used to say the same things.
You're 15 years old.
Yeah, I was 14. Daryl E says, I love craft beer, but, oh yeah, don't tread on me. Beer with pumpkin pie, a Cincy burger, beer. Okay. This may sound gross to you guys. Uh-oh. But I judge my budget beers by if I can let them get room temperature and they still taste good, then it's a good beer. That's fair. Oh, you little mobstrabator. Friar Tuck says, I think you're on the wrong website. Isn't there some websites that would be more appropriate for your taste? Friar Tuck says, Bush tastes horrible if left out till room temperature. I'm pretty sure. The Brood Dude says, sorry, I couldn't get it. Oh, that's understandable. Lawrence Hartley is giving us a score update. We'll check ESPNGo.com.
Really? You can't find it out in California?
Apparently not. Give me some Yingling going on right now, though. Anyone on your panel, Ron, brew their own beer? I'm not aware of that, but perhaps. Gary Kunkel says, no rice beer from Budweiser for me, Miller rules. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I need to send you a beer to review, Ron. Yeah, well, somebody else said they're going to send me some beer. I'm waiting to see if it comes in. I love how you say grits, William. You're the man, too. You're the man, too. Daryl Lee says, Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care, and I don't either. Bart says, Triptych Brewing in Savoy, Illinois. And then Joe says, Anheuser-Busch buys around 40% of the domestic rice supply. I wasn't aware of that. Daryl says, Schlitz needs a comeback. I miss it. I miss Schlitz too, says Jake. Why buy mass-produced beers when...
Seems a little high, 40%.
Why buy...
Isn't Schlitz a mass-produced beer? We can get Schlitz everywhere.
Thank
Right
you. Thank you.
Yeah, why buy mass-produced beer when craft beer rocks? Why buy a mass-produced car when you could buy a handmade car? Schlitz, that's my answer. Why buy
a Cadillac when you can get a Kia?
What did you say? Natural ice. Okay, well, anyway, enough of that commentary. Anyway.
I haven't given my commentary on this beer yet, so go ahead, Jay.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay. Finish up.
No, it's funny that people have that fixation on mass-produced, but yet they'll brush their teeth tonight with mass-produced toothpaste.
Right.
If they brush their teeth, which I hope they do, because some people are very stank. All right, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm gonna say real quick here. I think Miller Brewing did a very, very good thing by raising the ABV on this. Of course, originally it was at 4.3% and went up to 4.8. I think sales, and I think John Walker had mentioned this in one of your Facebook posts, that the sales have been pretty good on this beer. This, as well as the Light, which is still at its original ABV, as well as Miller High Life, have really did a good job with this. And if you've seen some of the push by Miller to really promote Miller High Life as becoming as I guess making it back into that signature beer, and seeing, I guess, what Pabst is doing with some of their beers, whether it be Stroh's, whether it be PBR, bringing back Old Tankard Ale, you have the Valentine, IPA, and Burton Ale, whatever it is, sort of kind of saying, hey, folks, these are the beers that we've had, we sample, we're bringing this back to you because sort of bringing that sort of nostalgia. It's good, yes, it's mass produced, but it's good, it's better, and you can get more bang for the buck for this compared to some of the other premium stuff that the other breweries are putting out right now. So personally, I think this is a good lager to have. Again, for the price point, I think it's decent. Would I bring this to a party? Well, let's put it this way. If I was going to a friend of mine's house, I brought Milwaukee's Best, they wouldn't mind. If I was going to a party with me and my lady, I would have to bring Miller Lite or Bud Light. sadly, that's kind of the different group of people that I hang out with. So,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Mine too, Sean. Mine too.
If I went to a party, I'm just like you. I'd bring Miller Lite or Bud Light or Coors Light, because if I bring anything else, if I bring craft beer, they won't drink it. So it's a waste of time bringing it. And if I bring a budget beer like this, they'll say, "Why'd you bring that?" So it's like, I don't want to hear all that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear all that.
Yeah.
Now, so anyway, Jeff Brister and William and everybody else, any last comments? I mean, I drank my beer pretty fast. I mean, it's a very drinkable beer. I just like guzzled that thing. I was kind of thirsty. I'm going to get some water, but that was Cartwright that called me. I wish I could get Cartwright on here, but that would be a game changer. Believe me, this guy.
Hey, let me ask
I'm
a
going
question.
on my fifth. I'm going on my fifth Milwaukee's Best lager right now.
Does anybody remember Miller Genuine Draft Light?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that. Never had it, but I remember it.
Which was 4.5% ABV.
That's not light.
Pretty high for light.
But did we maybe think that this is maybe a version of that, or genuine high, you know? I don't know. Maybe one of those,
remember that beer. I remember that beer very well.
maybe one of those like he was talking about, you know, maybe an old wine and a new label.
I like how you made that biblical reference. Oh, talking about the Bible, we have a commentator named Satan. Probably not the real Satan.
Hopefully not the real Satan.
Uh-oh.
He comes on my YouTube channel. He even subscribed to me, which I thought was kind of weird, but oh well.
Satan has subscribed to you on YouTube.
The High Life Lounge in Des Moines rocks, says Daryl. Satan says only malt liquor. Oh my goodness. I think I know who you are.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Go change your name again. All right. Lauren says, I'd never bring Miller or Bud to a party. Urban Chestnut. Good. Jake says malt liquor. Miller High Life, if you've got the time, we've got the beer. I've got the time. Miller beer, Ronnie says, Miller beer. Satan says, drink only malt liquor. Okay, we heard you. We got it. Lawrence says, 3 Floyds, Munster and Founders, Grand Rapids, Half Acre, Chicago, blah, blah, blah. Jake says, the champagne and beer.
Say that one more time now. Get back to the 3 Floyds thing.
Lawrence says, 3 Floyds, Munster, Indiana. Founders, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
And Half Acre of Chicago. I'm sure those are very good. We're not really talking about those right now. Miller Genuine Draft is a dying brand. They need to put some marketing effort into it. Yeah, that's the understatement of the year. You're right. And I think that's going to start. Oh, my goodness. Satan says, blank Founders, only malt liquor, Shady Malt Shadows. Well,
Congratulations.
What's up, Shady Shadows?
Congratulations.
and it's funny because you're saying only malt liquor, but yet here you are watching a video that is in no way related to malt liquor. So there's an inconsistency there. All right.
Troll on down the road, brother.
Troll your boat.
I'm sure tomorrow we'll all get Facebook notifications that somebody wants to be our Facebook friend.
I think that's the freaking truth.
But he'll have some odd photos and a description of himself that will not match any sort of reality. But anyway, okay, final thought with all this little kind of chaotic beer drinking, hanging out in the virtual bar room type situation.
I think it's an excellent beer. I disagree with John. I think it's right up there with Miller Lite. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
It's fine, yeah.
I think they did an outstanding job with this, guys. If you guys can get it, pick it up, try it out.
I like it. I would highly recommend trying it. I gave it an A in my independent review. I still give it an A. Yeah, it's an economy brand from Miller, but it's a mass-produced company. They know what they're doing. If they didn't know what they were doing, they wouldn't have such success. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this best lager would go up against Miller Lite because, I mean, that would be a light versus a regular beer. But, I mean, the best light would definitely go toe-to-toe with Miller Lite.
Looks like John Sharon's going to have to do a blind taste test online on his channel.
I will definitely do that, and I think I can tell a difference.
And I will watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Just dropped out. Who dropped out? Oh, Jean.
Gene's having computer issues. Or Sean, excuse me.
Now, I like it. I don't adore it, but you know, it's cheap, so no big deal. I find that with the liquor brands, it's a big difference with cheap to quality.
Oh yeah.
I did some. I mean, with beer, it's kind of. I mean, obviously, if I do Three Floyds, Alpha King compared to this, it's not going to be too much comparison. You know, I mean, that's kind of a joke, kind of stupid to compare those two. But I did 2 gins, and I'm going to post that tomorrow. I did Seagram's Distiller's Reserve Gin versus Crystal Palace Gin. It was so out of the box with the comparison. It was not even comparable. I mean, you could instantly tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Beer, maybe not. I don't know. If the styles match up, gin to gin, that matches. But, I mean, there was no way. I mean, it was no contest. It was a joke.
But, you know, I mean, everybody jumps on that Three Floyds bandwagon. I mean, I've had almost every beer from Three Floyds they've ever made. But, you know, and everybody goes Gumball Head, Zombie Dust. You know, I mean, they're good beers. I could go over here and get Zombie Dust right now if I wanted. But I think it's an overrated beer that's not that great. I think there's better beers out there on the market than Zombie Dust.
Wow, you just made a whole lot of enemies. Hey, John, and you've also said things about Stone.
Yeah, I'm not a big Stone fan. I'm not going to lie to you. No.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of in the same boat. Stone has a couple good ones, but then they got a couple failures.
They got a couple decent beers. The rest of them are just, I mean, I'm not a big, I think they're a dying breed because I think that all these big hoppy beers are going to go away. I think you look at Treehouse, you look at Trillion, and you look at, we got a new brewery right here. All these North Coast IPAs and Northeastern IPAs are just so much better than all these West Coast IPAs that's coming out here right now that I just think they're going to be a dying breed. I think the rest of them is going to step up to Treehouse, Trillion, and My Wide Brewing Company right now. It's in Louisville. It's making these great IPAs.
Okay.
Don't tell Greg Beer Reviews that. He'll slap your ass for that.
I don't care.
Greg,
I don't get free beers, so I don't really care.
Oh, it's an internet war now. Hey, Satan. Hey, you know what? Now I do have sympathy for the devil because Satan's starting to make some good comments. He says, "Cause I like your reviews, Ron. I'll support you. I support Ron's reviews and Brister and Eric and John and Jean. You guys do good videos. Keep up the work."
And it didn't say anything about me.
Thank you.
Didn't say jack about you. And then Satan says, great examination. And then Joseph, I get the 32-ounce cans of Milwaukee's Best for $1.89 in my area. Wow, I get them for I get them for $1.49. $1.49. Oh yes, sir. Satan says, "Yo, Ron, would you say it's better than Ballantine XXX?" I would not say that by any stretch of the imagination.
Very good.
Ballantine XXX blows this out the water, but you know I can't get it. Let's see. John Red Barley says, "Hello, how y'all doing tonight? We doing great." Lauren says, "Rolling Rock wasn't bad, Ron. It used to be bad in my opinion, but it's better now." Three Floyds is overrated, says Satan. Stone is overrated. Any beer that's not malt liquor is overrated, apparently. Ryan says, "To me, Milwaukee's best lines are good quality beers. The High Life is right there too, so it's lost in that shuffle." That's true. Satan says, "New Belgium is overrated. Treehouse is amazing. Cheers, gents." So suddenly he likes something that's not malt liquor. Lawrence says, "John makes sense. Three Floyds is overhyped to a point. Does he have a channel?" Yes, he does. Zone 1. Right? What's it called?
Yeah, Zone 1.
Daryl E says,
It's under my name. I'm not one of those guys that goes off a different name, so it's under my name.
John Sharon, yeah. Daryl Lee says, "Pleased to meet you." And then Joe says, "The craft beer market is oversaturated." Well, that's for sure. Daryl Lee says, "Hope you guessed my name." I did, Daryl East. And then Daryl Lee says, "Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale goes great with strawberry cheesecake." Okay. Sounds like I'd rather have milk. Four Loko is trash.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Everybody in the world knows that. But John bought a 14% Four Loko Gold.
Yeah. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I tried the Four Loko Fruit Punch. Tastes like high C with Bud Light with a shot of rubbing alcohol in it. It's just nasty. Ugh. And the taste stays with you for several hours. You cannot drink anything that'll wash it out.
I don't need that in my life. I'm not going there. So, William, you got any last thoughts on this Milwaukee's Best
I
lager?
think they did an excellent job on the execution, considering the price point, the competition it's going to be facing. I like it myself. I would give it a solid B+.
Okay.
$5.88 for a 12-pack. That's 49 cents a can. And I would take this over any light beer. I don't drink light beer. To me, I like the extra flavor of this. If you're drinking this in the summertime on a hot day, it still has enough flavor that's going to cut through. You can still taste something if it's 90 degrees outside and you're pulling it out of the freezer if it's ice cold. Plus, it doesn't taste nasty if it warms down a little bit. So I like it.
Thank you. That's a good overall, that's a good summary. Jeff Brister?
You know what? I never really bought Milwaukee's Best Premium very often, but I think I would buy this more often than I would have bought if they hadn't changed it to from the premium. As far as the style, I give it like a straight A. It's pretty good. And overall, I give it like a B-, around a B minus area. There's nothing bad about it. Tastes good. It's easy to drink. It's a little bit higher than the Milwaukee's Best Premium and the ABV, so it's pretty good.
And I like the comment you wrote. You said an Anheuser-Busch rant on a Milwaukee's Best video. LOL. Laugh out loud. You know what? Sometimes I lose my focus.
Oh well.
But I thought it was a pretty good rant. John? Oh, John is froze like a person who's frozen. Hey,
John says, I think it's a pretty good beer. I'm giving it a B+.
Oh, there he is. I heard his voice breaking through the Ethernet. Hey, and then Gary already said he likes it a lot. And then Bill can't talk because he's got the gerbils. And but he gave it a thumbs down. He doesn't like it, right, Bill? Right, Bill?
I think he said yeah.
He gave it a thumbs down. That's terrible. Give that beer a thumbs down. He says exactly. He wrote it exactly. Hey, well, you know what? If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine.
But, you're not going to get a panel as big as what we've got tonight. It's going to – everybody's pretty comparable about what it is. I mean, you're not going to get everybody to agree with everybody on here, and that's what this is all about. I mean, it's about the difference in styles and taste and what everybody wants and what everybody likes. I mean,
right. Now, next week, we're going back into what some people consider the dark side of the beer drinking world.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. But we consider it the fun side.
Uh-oh.
And what it is the Chelada world.
Uh-oh.
We got Budweiser Chelada Clamato Picante next week. I'm excited about it. It's already in my fridge. I like it. Then 2 weeks from now, we got Bud Light Chelada Lime, the lime version, Y Limon. Well, and to get even more excessive, we have the Make Your Own Chelada. Oh yeah, I already bought my tomato juice.
I think Jerry Ford didn't he do his own? Didn't he do a video on that Make Your Own?
I think he did. Well, we're gonna make our own Chelada. I'll have my tomato juice, and then it gets even worse, folks. But I have a can. I'm proud of it. January 25th, Rockdale Light, the new and improved Rockdale Light.
Now let's back up a little bit on this. Let's back up a little bit on this Rockdale Light, because I would like for somebody to send me some information on where this beer has been reformulated.
But I know it is, because when it first came out and months ago, it was 3.5. Remember?
All day long with you. It's never been reformulated.
Hold on a second. It was 3.5 and it was 83 calories. Now it's 3.9 and it's 96 calories.
Where are you seeing 3.9 at? Send me that information so I'll know.
3.9 on the bottle.
I have a can in my fridge. I can grab a can right now.
I've never seen a can whatsoever in a 12 or 16 that says 3.9 on it.
I got a can in my fridge right there.
Well, they must be in Louisiana and Alabama only.
That is so strange.
I can look
Okay.
at my area to see if it's been reformulated or if we still get the original.
I looked at 16 cans today, talked to the guy at Walmart, said that this beer flies off shelf. As soon as they take it off, he puts it on there. And he's never seen anything more than what it is right now.
Well, I have some even more shocking news. On February 1st, we're looking at Milwaukee's best ice.
I'll
I
be
got a
there.
question about the Beast Ice. Is it a regional thing that it went to the 6.9? Because the Milwaukee's best ice here is still 5.9.
If someone could send me a bottle of it, I'll be happy because I cannot get the Milwaukee's best.
Wait a minute, Jeff Brister. You have to.
Was at 5.9 or even at 6.9, which is the new one.
Wait a minute.
I can't get it here in Alabama.
And I'm sorry about that. Jeff Brister. That doesn't make sense, John.
Montgomery.
Jeff Brister, you have the new label?
It's still the 5.9% here.
But it's the new label?
I don't know.
Because, the new label is different. It's all.
If
Maybe
you see 5.9, it's probably still within the pull date, and they may try to sell it off before they introduce the 6 point. That's what they did in my area. I saw the
Here
5.9.
too, William. Exact same.
Then I saw the 6.9.
Hey, Jim, aren't you from Ohio?
No, he's from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Oh.
Hey, look, John Sharon. I have this right here in my hand. I bought this at Walmart, a 6-pack. Look what I'm reading. It says, brewed and bottled by, Rockdale, but City Brewing, La Crosse, Wisconsin. It says right here on the can, 3.9% alcohol and 96 calories. It's right here in blue and white. And it's the 221st day of 2016, which is strange because that's a while back. But I'm telling you, it's all been jacked up in Louisiana. So keep your eye out. We have some time to play with for that anyway. We got all these clamatos coming up. Well, we're going on an hour.
Jay,
I guess, huh?
Jay, I'm sorry I didn't get my feelings on the beer. Yes, I will buy the beer again. It is a standby beer, and I enjoy it. And I think Miller did a good job raising the ABV on this beer. So buy Miller Milwaukee's best. I'm sorry about my computer being froze up. I will have a new laptop, hopefully today, and I will be done with this thing that I got.
Oh, that's okay. We're not mad about it. Hey, look, this is the new can. This is the ice. It's this is good till May. The best buy date is May 15th, so I got some time to play with. So February, I'll be in great shape on this can. I'm not gonna drink it. So, but boy, it's strong. Let me tell you. Hey, well, that's it, folks. It's all over. It's all over now.
It's over.
May I just say one more thing?
Yes, you may.
I have my own channel up now with my own reviews. Is it okay if I post my channel link here in the chat?
Are you trying to say you would like to have spam on this channel? Yeah, you could do that.
All right. There it is.
Let's see.
There it is.
Let's look at some comments. I'm going to read some of these comments, not all of them. Unfreeze yourself, John. He can't. He's dealing with bad. Joe says, tell us about the time Black Metal Troy crashed one of your examinations. We're not going to talk about that. Pipe Smoke says, I'm glad you guys give such fine reviews of humble products. We try. Uh-oh, somebody's about to have a showdown in the house.
Hey, I got to jump off here. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
I gotta shoot my friend.
Yeah,
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Joe says the 5.9 ABV of Milwaukee's best ice is still available in my area. February 2017 date, but we also get the 6.9. Yeah, they're trying to sell off their old stocks. All right, well, that's it. It's over. 1 hour gone. That's it.
Bye-bye.
All right, check out my YouTube channel, y'all.
Peace out, America. Happy New Year.
I gotta pee.
Make beer great.